Do you know what I like to do on Thursdays? I like to look at some baseball cards. I just uploaded a video. I was hanging out at Filmington's Get Together. I was with Jeremy Lee and a young ultra modern collector that I met, really nice guy. And Rick was behind me, Vintage Oddball Cards, my buddy. And Jeremy Lee had asked me about oddball cards. So Rick was behind me, so I flipped the camera around and I shot it, for him to hear. And of course he gets involved. So I was busting his chops a little bit. But I totally forgot that I had even recorded that. I stumbled on it in my photos in my phone. So I posted it. It was a good time. I actually hung out with a lot of young collectors and ultra-modern collectors there. I had breakfast with my boy Amit. Man, he just picked up a Talesteros Josh Gibson and a 3 a few months back. It's a beauty. And he was hanging out with a very young Lionel Messi, a super collector. So we had breakfast together. Interesting to hear some of the young collectors and the ultra modern collectors. And, I don't even understand half of what they're telling me. Some of it feels like it's in a foreign language, but I'm trying, guys. So it was nice to hang out with a lot of younger collectors and a lot of people that collect very differently than I do. At Filmington's party, I hung out with a whole bunch, and I had a blast. It was a great time. I wanted to show a few cards, and I have a few kind of obscure sets. I wanted to show you this card. This is Gino Petralli. When he played for the Rangers, he tied a record. He had 6 passed balls in one game. And, he routinely caught Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer. And that year, he had 35 passed balls, and 32 of them were by Charlie Huff. Little tidbit of information. So when I pick up cards like I did at the National, oftentimes I like to go through and look at the other cards I have from that set. So I picked up this Cy Young Standard Caramel. These are from 1910. And these E-cards tend to be tough because, tobacco cards were marketed to adults. So I think the reason that you see those a lot more than the caramel cards is because kids would get the caramel cards and probably, destroy them over time and play with them like I did when I was a little kid. And I think that may be why tobacco cards are in better shape, because most of those went to adults. But the standard caramel are not super easy to come by, and they're beautiful cards. This Cy Young. So here's my Honus Wagner from the set. This is just a beautiful Rube Waddell. Just a beauty. This is what these look like on the back, if you don't know. Beautiful Deacon Philippi. Man, what a beautiful card. These are just little works of art. A beautiful Tommy Leach. Of course, the first player to score a run in a World Series after doubling. I believe he led the National League in home runs that year. In the 1903 World Series, the very first one. Of course, Deacon Philippi pitched 5 complete games in that World Series. If you didn't know that. There was a 9-game series back then. Then in 1904, they didn't have a World Series. And then the following year, they moved it to a 7-game series. But the Pirates had 3 starting pitchers. 1 got hurt. And one, I guess, had a mental breakdown and was taken to the hospital. So he had to pitch 5 complete games. And this is Red Ames, another beauty. Now, I picked up this 58 Bell brand, Roy Campanella. And I only have two others. This is a tough set. Here's the Duke Snider. And here's the Johnny Padres. This is what those look like on the back, if you're not familiar. Bell brand potato chips. Now, many of you and many people in the hobby, they like uniformity. And so they get all the same slabs. Well, it always... I never understand why the grading companies do things like this. Because a lot of people do want that uniformity. So I have these three, and as you can see, they put the Duke Snider much higher than the other ones. So if you put them together, they kind of look funny. I don't know, does some kid at SGC just decide where to put the slab? They don't have any uniformity? Did he flip it around? There's no uniformity there. All right. I wanted to show you this obscure set. And it's pretty great. These were strip cards. They were multi-subject. It was a multi-subject set. They had 4 baseball players, and I have all 4 of them. And it's from 1928, W565. Here is the Lou Gehrig. And these are unique in that they have a black back. Not sure if they all do. Yeah. So the Lou Gehrig. Here's a Tony Lazzeri. And this is Al Simmons. And these are all good players. All good Hall of Famers here. And Harry Heilman. Now, these 3 baseball players were red, and this one was not. It's the only odd one, but it's still a black back. Pretty cool. Obscure set. You can see pretty easy to find in higher grade, and of course, much less than many of their other cards from this era. If you want a playing days cards of these guys, this is not a bad choice, although you don't see these every day. So that is what I have for you. Hey, as always, thanks for hanging out with me. I gots to go.